Hello and good night to all of you. Today we want to read the story of Prudy's Problem. Prudy's Problem and How She Solved It by Carrie Armstrong Ellis. What happens when Prudy's problem gets out of control? Prudy seemed like a normal little girl. She had a sister, she had a dog, she had 2 white mice, she had a mum, a dad, and her own room at home. Yes, Prudy seemed normal. But Prudy collected things. Now, most kids collect something. Prudy's friend, Egbert, collected butterflies. And so did Prudy. Belinda collected stamps. And so did Prudy. Harold collected tin foil and made it into a big ball. And so did Prudy. All her friends had collections, and so did Prudy. But Prudy collected everything. She saved rocks, feathers, leaves, twigs, dead bugs, and old flowers. She kept a box full of interesting fungi in the bottom drawer of her dresser. She saved every picture she had ever drawn and every Valentine she had ever gotten. She saved pretty paper napkins from parties and kept them in her desk drawer. She had 614 stuffed animals in different unnatural colors. She had collections of ribbons, shoelaces, souvenir postcards, flowered fabric scraps, pencils with fancy ends, pink scarves with orange polka dots, old calendars, salt and pepper shakers with faces, dried out erasers, plastic lizards, pointy sunglasses, china animals, heart-shaped candy boxes with the paper candy cups still inside, tufts of hair from different breeds of dogs. She just could not throw anything away. It drove her dad to distraction. He was a very tidy person who did not like clutter. He started saying unpleasant things as he tried to mow the lawn. "Prudy, you have a problem," he said. "What do you mean?" she asked, baffled. "Too much stuff. Why don't we haul it all to the dump?" he suggested. "I don't have too much stuff, Dad," Prudy said. It even got to be too much for her mum, who did not mind clutter, but could no longer navigate the living room. "Maybe you could take all of this to the thrift shop," she said. "Surely someone could use these old mushrooms." "I like mushrooms," said Prudy. "Prudy, you have to face your problem," said her mother. "I do not have a problem," said Prudy. Prudy's little sister started putting together a collection of her own. "Uh-oh," said Egbert, eyeing Evie's little pile of pine twigs and used toothbrushes. Prudy, how about if you packed everything all up and stuffed it into a rocket and sent it to Neptune? Yeah, that would solve your problem, agreed Harold and Belinda. There is no problem, shouted Prudy. But Prudy herself found out that she could barely get to her desk to feed her mice. She could not even get out of her room without setting off an avalanche of one thing or another. From school, something shiny caught her eye. It was a silver gum wrapper. I must take this one home for my shiny things collection, said Prudy. She ran home and tried to squeeze it into her room. Something started to happen. The wall started to bulge. The door started to strain at the hinges. The pressure was building higher and higher. The room exploded with an enormous bang. Bits and pieces of stuff flew everywhere. Holy smokes, said Prudy. I guess maybe I do have a little problem. For 6 weeks, everyone pitched in to gather Prudy's scattered collections. Now what, Prudy? Said her family. Now what, Prudy? Said her friends. Prudy looked around for inspirations. She visited an art collection. She visited a fish collection. She visited a rock collection. She went to the library to find ideas. At last, after many hours of scrutinizing stacks of books, she came up with a brilliant plan. With saws wiring and hammers pounding, everyone set to work. The Prudy Museum of Indescribable Wonderment. What an amazing sight to behold! Everyone wanted to go with it. Within a year, it was the biggest tourist attraction in Prudy's town. Look at that, Egbert, said Belinda. Did you ever realize how many kinds of gym socks there are? I had no idea cheese vines could be so fascinating, said Prudy's mother. Can I go to the gift shop? Said Evie. At last, Prudy's collection were neat and orderly and appreciated by everyone. Now she could sit back and enjoy the museum and all her happy visitors, which she could never really stop collecting. And that's all of our story for tonight. I hope you liked it. By the way, do you collect anything special?